Hi everyone, again we have an Odoo Insider session today. Every Thursday we meet together for technical functional questions and hopefully answers. On my side, as you can see maybe on the agenda, we are half of the month and we had already 2 regular Q&A sessions. We are going to have a few more and then a tech session. I don't remember if it's with Emanuele or Armin that we have scheduled. Emanuele, one of the 2 guys we always have, perfect, really good. I know there are lots of questions on AI. We receive from time to time a few from you guys as well. So that's also the right moment to ask them that. As you know, we have a big event starting soon. Yes, I cannot emphasize enough on how this is important to us. I'm always in French here.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
The session on the 20 is going to be in French. So that's
okay. That one here, I should say
French.
This. Okay, it changes everything, right?
It does. For the audience, it does.
Okay, so it will be in French. Do we have a specific topic?
No, not for this one.
Okay.
In September, yes.
Okay, so you are teasing or what?
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to say it, but I suppose it's related to the fact that there are big changes on the 1st of September in France?
Could be.
Okay, all right, I won't get more today. All right, thanks Ines. So again, I see you have already some questions, so we can tackle it. Just a last small reminder, this is the main thing. If you are not in Europe, you know that we have events in different places of the world. Ines, you are maybe going to help me on this one because we have Africa, India, US?
Latam.
Latam in Mexico?
Yes.
Okay.
There is one.
Yeah. Dubai? Maybe?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
So many places we have the same event. We are here, not in Brussels technically, but not too far. So this is our event, this one, but we have a lot of those ones. So that's a really good place for you to get to start to know Odoo, to get teach a few things on how it works, see colleagues, potential clients as well. So it's really the main event that we have every year around September. So if you have some time and you want to learn more about Odoo, that's really the place where you can go. All right, I'm always starting in June, July, August about this one because it's super important for us and for you. But yeah, that is it. If we have already some questions, and we do have, I have them, yeah, perfect. I have my list, but nowadays I don't even need that list anymore. We have already a few questions that you ask directly. And we have Kelly the Smith that is asking a few things. How do we ensure that everything is tracked in a lead card in marketing, and how do we set that up? Okay, that's a module that is not used that much, at least not on my side. I had to discover it a bit. We are going to discuss, I'm pretty sure that people don't know what we talk about when we talk about a lead card, but I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing. Kelly the Smith, can you tell me, just to be sure, this one, do you call this a lead card, or do you call a lead card the marketing card app that we have that is really specific, this one, marketing card? Because you say a lead card in marketing, so I would suppose this is the one, but don't hesitate to confirm that or to tell me if I'm right, because this one, I'm pretty sure that not a lot of people know what it does, that marketing card. It's a specific one. It will allow you to, if I remember well, display a card with a background that you can send and have maybe a few things that you can track. We can go there. It has an app on its own. It's here. Maybe some of you are discovering it at the same time. I'm going to click on new, and I can make here.
She says lead card in CRM. Okay,
in CRM. So that's not this one. Perfect. Okay. Thanks a lot. So I suppose this is the one. And the other one, if you have questions, we can go inside as well. And you say everything is tracked in a lead card in marketing. Oh, we set that up. Okay, so here you have a few things that are tracked, and you can see every time the different fields that we have. We have contact name here, contact, and the type. It was transformed, for example, here from a lead to an opportunity a few days ago. Now I just moved the stage, and you can track a lot of things here. Things that you need to know about that tracking is that it is an information that we put on the field inside Odoo. So if I go, I'm always running in debug when we have the sessions, the Odoo Insider sessions, simply because we want to teach you a lot of things that are on the edge between functional and technical stuff. And to me, a good functional consultant needs to have that information and be able to navigate in information that are not development related, but at least data model, understanding what is a view and things like that. So here, if I go on the fields of a lead, you're going to see what I mean. And what I mean with that, we talked about the stage. And the stage, I told you, we could see that it was tracked, and that information, here stage ID, you will see something like here, it's enabled order tracking. So it's not a checkbox saying, I want to track it, I don't want to track it. It's a bit more complex than that, but barely, I'm saying complex, but it's not true. It's more like it has another option, let's say it like that, that allows you, I'm going to put it here, that allows you to define in which order the tracked fields are going to appear in the message that is displayed on the chatter side. So if you have a number here that is different than 0, or let's say higher than 0, because I never tested with a negative number, you are going to tell Odoo, I want to track that field. And because you say that, you are going to see the change of value of that field right there. So that's why you have this. It's number 100. So I guess that if I were to change two different things that are tracked, what else do we track? We track the contact. So if I change the contact here, and at the same time I'm changing the stage, and I save this, you see here we have a few things, and then that comes late. The last item is a stage. That's because here it's 100, and I guess it's one of the highest numbers that we have for the tracking. If I go on the contact, we can check that here, partner, you see it's 10. So that's why it's there before. So if you say, I'm going, let's say, a bit further with your question. If you say, I would like to track everything, I could tell you, all right, we have 124 fields, among which a lot of things are useless in terms of tracking, but we could still argue. You could go there and say, I would like to track everything, like the company currency, the company, well, those are things that usually don't change. The dates eventually, that's maybe something you want to track. You see here 0, it means it's not tracked. But these fields, although you see that I can change the label, for example, here I cannot change the order tracking. In fact, that thing, it's not available on the SaaS. You cannot change a default field. So this is a field that is not a custom one, not created through Studio. So if you want to change this value and make it a tracked field, you need to develop that. And you will find that quite easily, because in GitHub, for example, if you go there, I'm pretty sure that if I'm putting, I think it's tracking equals something, we're going to find some of them. It's in Python. Yeah, it's tracking equals, wait, because if it's tracking it equals true, we would need something more that is the number. Let me check that. Voilà. Yeah, it's still tracking. Yes. I think it's related to this one, but it's true that then we don't give the number. It's here. Either it's true or you give the number. Perfect. So that's what you have on partners, for example, so on contacts. So that is correct. This is the information that we need. So if you want to change a standard field, no other solution than to inherit a model and change this value. Odoo doesn't allow you to change anything on an existing field. It could be just a read-only criteria. If I'm trying to save, it tells me this, and that is true for all the fields in Odoo. It's telling you create a custom add-on. That's what I'm telling you. All right. Other possibility for fields that you created yourself. So if I'm going to use Studio here, I'm creating a new field, and what can I put here? Let's create a new tags. Yeah, I'm going to need another model. Let's create rather just a text. Easier. Odoo Insider tracking. All right. So that's my Odoo Insider tracking field. Do we have the tracking information here? I'm not sure. Tracking chatter. Okay, you have it there. So you can say that. But although let's not put it. I'm going to say I forgot. I don't have it. I close, and we're going to find it in the models. So if I go back to the fields, I'm looking for my field here, Odoo Insider tracking, and here you see now that field is editable. I can put 30 if I want. And going back on my lead 7, now if I change that value, hey Kelly. Now you have it, you see. So solution if you want to track everything, meaning also the fields that are existing in Odoo that you didn't create yourself. Extra module. There is another technique. I'm mentioning it. I'm not going to show it because I think it's a bad idea. It's not very cool that I'm mentioning some bad ideas, but I like to cover the technical aspects of it. You could technically make a related field that points to a standard field and change the behavior of that related field so that when you change the standard field value, the related field as well, and so it shows the related field tracking in a chatter, but you duplicate everything and it's really bad idea in general. But for having tested that is something that works. Extra information from Kelly. We want to know whether the lead came in through LinkedIn, a newsletter, or Google Ads. How do we connect that? Usually, that's here that you will find this information in the marketing. So you have campaigns, Medium, you should have the usual suspects. So if I go here, social media, you are going to find a few things like could be, maybe we have more like Facebook and things like that. Yeah, all right. So you have that information, and usually it's coming there because you have it as parameters in your URLs. So if you create a lead in Odoo and because someone submitted a form and that form is coming from a specific UTM, you are going to create here a lead that contains that default information. We can maybe make a test with this one. It's been a long time I had to do this.
And what about the tracked links?
The tracked links.
Because if you do a tracked link, you do have this information that is popping up in here.
Okay.
But you need to create the track link first.
Okay, so
that could be an option.
A link tracker, like you do that a lot on your side, yes?
We do.
All right.
Which is why.
Maybe you want to explain a bit what you do at Odoo. That would be nice.
Myself?
Yeah.
Well, we're on the webinar team and Odoo Insider team. Which means that we promote, we organize, we do the follow-up on the webinars and Odoo Insider session. So part of the promotion is linked to the creation of campaigns or link trackers on specific social medias, which is how it's working.
So here, I'm going to try the following because I think it's this one, TKE, yeah. So if I want to go there with the replay links that we have, I'm going to reuse this one. Wait, no, it's not what we want. I'm going to rather create a form page.
Or you go on a web page.
Yeah.
You open the editor. And then
create
you
a form.
The link tracker from there.
Okay, you do it in the other.
Yes.
You generate it for you instead of going there. Okay, let's.
It's a user-friendly way to.
Yes, it's not maybe, it's certainly better. So here with all the tests I'm already made, so potentially I have website is going to bother me a bit. Okay, let's select whatever. Test for Kelly. All right, and here I could add a form somewhere. Yes, which one would be best here? And then in the form information, you have something like. Where do you configure that on your side? Is it here?
No, in the editor mode on the upper left of the page.
Okay, I'm going to save this one, and then you go.
Under site.
And
the upper left.
Yes, sorry.
Link tracker.
Yes, okay, all right.
That's not specifically for a form, but more for a web page. So
yes.
if you're promoting a specific event page, you could create it from here.
Okay, I'm going to keep it for my specific page. So I have my, it's new that I was on the page with the form. So I can say here, that's the name, I guess I don't care too much. I'm generating the link tracker and doing this. In fact, here, let's cancel this one. Yeah, I generated the second one here just now, but through the interface of the website. Maybe better in terms of usability, as you said. All right, plus the possibility to create a QR code, which we don't have on the other side, or?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know the QR code.
Yes.
We have it here as well. Okay, so we have a tracker. You will be able to see the different links that were visited. I'm going to force it here. All right, that's to end on the link. It's not exactly the same.
You can copy the link.
This one copy. Oops.
If you open it, you see the source.
Yes, all right, that is it. So what we do is that we add it through the module that we have so that we have the UTM campaign parameter, the UTM source, the UTM medium. But in fact, on your side, let's imagine you have a website that is not on Odoo. You could do exactly the same, and that information would be captured on the lead that we have here. So let's add some blah blah here. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. And then if we go here and I check my leads somewhere, did I explain? No, I don't know if I explained it should create a lead. Maybe it's just an email. I didn't pay attention to this one. Let's edit here. So on every form you have an action, and I don't know if I explained what I wanted to make it. Yeah, here it's sending an email. I don't want that because just the email is not going to create anything in Odoo unless the email address we send it to is an alias on Odoo. I'm going to say create an opportunity and redo it. Test Odoo Insider Kelly. I'm going to put that everywhere. I'm submitting this one. It's telling me thank you, message has been sent. Hopefully it was okay. I can close this one. Let's refresh here. And I'm not sure I saved my form change. New leads. No, it's not the one. Yeah, it's here as a lead and not as an opportunity. And here we have the campaign, the phone, and the source. So that is coming from, again, let's come back here. It's coming from up. Do I have it here? Yeah, that. And so again, Kelly, you could have it and have a link that is managed from somewhere else, as long as you have the, and that is important to respect the format and the name, as long as you have UTM campaign, UTM source, UTM medium, and that the chars here match the value that you have in the campaign source and medium. That's going to work. Okay. What else do we have? Or do we report to or inform a third party about the case of Google Ads in relation to your organization? That's a good question. I don't know this one because I don't use Google Ads. Do you, Ines? No. Nope. So I could take a guess here. Usually I have the feeling that those kind of things, you would have them rather not on Odoo, but on Google Analytics or things like that. Why you could say, in fact, I know the amount of people that went on that page with which campaign, which medium, which source. And then I'm pretty sure that on Google Ads there must be a way to link those visits with the amount you're paying per ads and per people coming on your website. But it doesn't. To me, it's not linked to Odoo. You don't see that information. What you can see on Odoo is the amount of people that clicked on the link. So if we go on the link tracker, you're going to see the clicks. You have some statistics here about what it is related to in terms of UTMs with the visit, the clicks here, and so on. And you have maybe also another notion that is the visitors that you have on the website, where here you can see I'm a visitor. Here it's not completely correct. A visitor would mean I'm not identified. Here we can say that I'm Antoine Huvel. I was connected here, but that's because I've been browsing the website, always being connected as a user here. But if I were to go from here to this place as well and visit a few things, click here and there, maybe go in my cart, blah blah, I think I would have a second one that is going to show up. Yes, and you see website visitor 31. 5 seconds ago, it can tell me the pages I visited and if there's a lead that is related, so that I could get a bit more information. But that is information that is strictly on Odoo. On the other side, if you're interested about Google Ads, there's no link directly. Although you could say that maybe some Google Ads are coming from some campaigns, so it could be a particular campaign on Google Ads that you have. Medium Google, source Google, medium would be on social media or maybe a different medium. And you can have some kind of statistics there per campaign, but then it means that you need to have those 3 axes defined in Odoo and find the correct information. I don't know exactly if you have more in Google Ads for that. So we have another question from CyberDevGoat. I have a restaurant post. By default, Odoo consumes from stock when then the warehouse or menu items each have a BOM, but for accountability, we have created several warehouses. We have tried the below. Warehouse stock food and warehouse stock drinks. However, no good accountability, so we went with warehouse location. Then we have a central store that receives everything for everyone. The issue in the restaurant is how do we select the location or warehouse from where each BOM consumes materials. You don't have it per BOM. We also have another code stuff each with manager. Okay. I don't think that it's a setting that you have in Odoo that would allow you to choose which restaurant is linked to which warehouse. We can test that. Usually, if that were a thing, we would need to have on the POS a warehouse information or a stock location information. I don't have the point of sale here. I could maybe reuse for this one the demo environment. Same story as usual. Demo environment, why am I going there? That's because we are talking about a POS, and POS, there are always a bit of settings that are required. POS, payroll, appointments are typically modules for which I go on the demo environment so that I don't bother creating a POS, and we earn a bit of time there. Settings here, if you go in the settings, first thing that you can do, I'm going even on one for which there is no session yet. Here it's saying click here to close the session. Problem is when the session is open, maybe you don't have access to all the parameters, so I'm going to find, yes, this one, good. One for which the session is not yet opened, so I maybe have more information. Payment, no. Post interface, no. Product POS categories could be there, no. Accounting, no. Sales, pricing, bills. I'm looking for some stock related stuff. Inventory, good. Okay, operation type. But that can help, operation type, because if you say operation type, you don't have access directly to the stock, at least to the location it is taken from. But I suppose that an operation type is a I'm going to phrase it different way, I just inverted the word, but it's a type of operation, meaning you are going to always have the same source and the destination. You will find that in inventory. You already have by default a lot of operation types that exist, well, a lot, 4 here. Receipts means you have something that is in the end, we don't see it here. Yes, you don't see it because I didn't enable the different locations, but otherwise we would see, storage locations. If we do that, we are going to see the details that I wanted to show you on the operation types here. Let's go back on receipts. Yes, destination location. That means a reception for Odoo is something where the destination location matters, and usually by default for us it's stock because it's a main place in your warehouse. If you have several warehouses, you will have warehouse stock, then warehouse 2 stock, and so on and so forth. That information, by the way, you will find it on the warehouse itself. If I go on another operation type, internal transfer, it is something for which we go from stock to stock, and maybe we have sub-locations under those, well, the same location that we have here, that we are going to change. What is a delivery? A delivery is going from stock and goes to customer. Maybe I didn't explain also that it's coming from vendor to go to stock, a receipt. So you always have, here for POS order, you see it's similar to deliveries. I'm going to show that, so it's stock customers for delivery order. And here it's stock customer. So it's the same, but it has a different name, so that you can differentiate potentially people that go to your POS. And in terms of the delivery, you want to have a different sequence, and people that are B2B or that go for which you serve them from the back end. So it's not on the POS. But technically speaking, it always fetches the same thing. We go in the stock, we see if we have product, and then we deliver it to the customer. What is strange usually with the POS, and I'm pretty sure that you have a specific use case. What is strange is that usually in a POS environment, people have the goods in the hand. So they go to a counter and they have the goods. So we don't care so much about the stock count or things like that, or at least the fact that they come with the goods, it means it is existing. Stock count is important. I mean, you still need to do the inventory, you need to still need to resupply and things like that. That is of course important. But here, if you say, I would like to target the different warehouse based on the BOM, yes, you don't have it per BOM, you have it per POS. That's what I meant. Because I'm going to reread what you said. The issue in the restaurant is how do we select the location or warehouse from where each BOM consumes materials. So in your way of phrasing this, it is, I have different BOM and the BOM should dictate what is the source location. For us, it's not what is the source location? It's not dictated by the BOM, it's dictated by the POS setting itself. So in the same POS session, you are going to use the same operation type. It means it's always going to fetch. I can redo the, let's say the path here. If we go on the setting that I'm going here on the bar, we go at the bottom where we have this one. It means that when I'm using the bar POS, I'm going to use the operation type to move things from my stock to my client. Where is my stock? This is the stock I'm talking about, so it is in that stock location. It doesn't mean that it cannot have sub-locations though. So if your point with bombs is saying that we have fresh products, we have a dangerous product, or we have goods that needs to be shared and located in different sub-locations, because you say wh/stock, Odoo is going to check the sub-locations of that stock place. And so it's going to work, but it needs to be there inside this one, not a sister location or not a sub-location that would be above. So we can make a quick test for this one eventually. If we have a bar, what we can do is I'm not going to change the setup of the POS, I'm going to change the setup of the inventory after. But if we have a bar, I suppose that we are going to sell a few products that are known in a bar, like beers and things like that. So I can open the register. Yeah, we have water, Minute Maid, and blah blah. I'm going to select Minute Maid here, and so that we know that that product exists. If I go on my product, Minute Maid, this is the one. This one. If I go in the inventory, you see I don't have, pay attention, this one doesn't mean that it is where it is stored. If I want to know where it is stored, I will need to go, but is it, we don't track it at the moment. I'm going to force it on quantity, okay, so that we have on hand and forecasted Minute Maid stuff. I'm going to put a few things on hand. I'm going to update the quantity, but put it in a sub-location of the stock so that we can see what is going to happen. I suppose it's going to work, although I've never done that, but I would be surprised it doesn't work the way I want. So let's create first the sub-location. Here, a location, but we have the shelf one, perfect. I'm going to put some Minute Maid in my shelf one. So I could go there and say update quantity. Maybe I forgot to make the stock count for this one, maybe I received it and I don't have a purchase order, whatever. Shelf one, I have 10, okay. So I'm going to close this one because I just want to be sure it possesses the information needed in terms of stock count, or the fact that it is at least a stockable product. Okay, let's go back on my bar, continue selling. Let's add a Minute Maid. And there's maybe another thing that I need to change on the POS. If I want to see it happen now and not close the session, you know that there's something else that is important in the configuration, which is when do we create the delivery order. Here it's good, it's in real time. So it's not at the end of the session where end of the day I'm going to compute a big delivery order. Here I'm going to have one directly after each sale. So that's what I wanted to have, so that I don't have to close the session. Let's try it. Let's make payment, select a customer account. No, I need to select a customer. Let's say card, will be faster. This one, validate, blah, 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 continue, good. Let's see what it created in terms of stock movement. It should be a PS order. Let's check here. Saying this, is it this one that we created? Yes, my Minute Maid is here. We see source location there. Do I have the details? Yes. So that's maybe, it's not bothering me, but you see I have source location here, which is a general one, but in fact we picked it from the shelf one. So if you need that CyberDev Goat, you can do the following. Have bombs with products that are located in sub-locations of this location, and that would work. But if it's really per bomb and that solution doesn't work, that is going to be a bit more complicated because Odoo doesn't work like that for the POS. Yeah, so that's the way it is. But I think based on what you said, that should be enough. But I will need some kind of confirmation there. Okay, next question for me is Sonia Stern 4419. Can you explain how purchase work if we want to use it for buying hours from people? We buy per half day for a specific date and time. The both days I want to confirm to the person. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Purchase side. I'm going back on my own database. Purchase. Okay, let's first have a look at the product that we have. I didn't create a service, but let's say I want to work with an architect. We would say it's a service type of thing. We are going to be billed by the, you said half days, so I could say days, or I usually prefer, personal preference, to use this unit that is quite small, so ours is usually ideal, and we're going to sell them by 4 if you want, or you can say days. It doesn't change much, and you could have half days if you want, as long as this tells you that you can have, yes, here a day's 8 hours. So I suppose you could have half a day. We're going to test that. So do we need to create something on order? So that is only a sales perspective, so I don't mind too much this one. This is when you sell architect services, do you want to create a task or things like that, but it's going to be on the purchase side, so it has no impact. You have different prices per vendor, lead times and all, but I don't think it's going to matter so much for us in what we want to do. What is important here is how are we going to control this? Do we receive the invoice based on the order quantities on the one that we received? If we have this one, I will keep it as such, and we can create an order here and say I'm going to that. Yeah, we can select a Belgian company, select some architect job, and yeah, I was changing also the price at which I sell it here, but I didn't say anything about the purchase price. That's why I will need to go and say Belgian company. Let's go back here. Let's imagine that it's a bit cheaper, the price at which I buy it versus the price at which I'm selling it. Now, if I'm doing this, you see there's a difference in terms of price. And you say, if you buy hours from people, here days, so hours, it's working. The only difference is that I'm buying full days instead of half a day. But I could say this one. Yeah, so 0.5. Yes, good. I don't have any price for that because the minimum quantity on the other side is 1, I think. So I'm going to lower it. Okay. Specific date and time. That we don't have though. So if you want to have it at that moment and it needs to be there on the PO that you are going to send to your vendor, to your supplier, you need to add this because we don't have it there. And adding it would mean go on Studio and you add some date and time. I don't know if that's necessary, so don't hesitate to comment. But if you want, you could say, yeah, it's not here, it's there. First, open the subview. Go for our date time stuff here. I'm going to say start date. Start date. I think it's something I had to do a lot. Maybe not on the purchase order, but adding start and end date. That's a demand that you have quite often. Oh, I can create a new one. I just created only the start date. Let's create the end date as well. Right. And I should make another change still. If we do this, you have 2 fields, but that's okay. This works. I could say I'm going to need the help from 9 a.m. until same date, here 17th, so 1 p.m. That would work. But because I selected this, it doesn't compute the quantity, nor the opposite is true. What you could do instead of having start and end date like this, we have also a widget that's maybe better. If you go there and you select the field, once you have created both fields, you can say, I would like to have a widget that is date range. And date range, you say start date field, but that's this one, the start date. Okay, I'm just checking if we had something else. No, and end date is the end date here. I think the start date is okay. It knows it is this one. Yeah, I don't have it in the list because it's itself. Let's say. Okay, let's close. Now you have. it will be better to rename it then, because then you see it says start date, but it should be more like a planning or something like this, because then you have both. And here, if you say 17th, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and of course the value that you have here is the same as this one, so it would be even better to go and say end date. We can hide it invisible for everyone, and we good, and you would have to change the label here. Doing this, you can communicate that, but of course if you print it, it's not on the PDF, because you didn't explain that you wanted to have it, so that would require also some change. I am really bad with report changes. I could go maybe on the request for quotation. Report changes here, simply because I prefer to do it directly in XML, but I suppose that I would be able to, how can we do that here? To add, nope, not what I wanted to do. I was tabbing, but tab means don't go to the next cell, but really tab inside the cell, so that I don't want. You have here insert right. Could I have planning, something like this, and here say field. We want the field that would be start date and space and then field. And date, of course, you could have two different columns instead of just one, if you want. We can try this one, see how it works. Do we have now this information that is displayed? Yes, planning, you have it here. We could add it. I was maybe afraid of the report window, but in fact it all goes well. I should have had maybe a carriage return so that we have it on 2 lines, but you get my point. You have that information here on the RFQ. You can have it on the PO as well. So you book for a specific date and time, but it is only here that you have it. It's not something that you have in your task management or project management. If I were to change this here and say let's create task in my project, so Sonia project, if we do this, it's not because I'm putting it there, that saving on the PO here, confirming, it's not creating a task or something like this. It's rather when you set it that you are going to have this. I can try to create a new one just to be sure of what I'm saying with the architect notion, knowing that here, yes, also don't put a date, you need to click range before, so that it works. All right. And if I'm saying here 1 hour, you see, and I'm saying quantity 1, Odoo is not going to stop. So there you will need to add some extra control if you want to be sure that people don't make a mistake. Confirming here, you don't have, you see task or whatever that are created. You can track it manually and create the task yourself. You can also use some automated actions in Odoo so that it does it for you. It creates a task because you add a PO. I don't know what is the rest of the use case, but if I had to purchase hours through Odoo for a specific date, I want it to be kind of an agreement visible on a paper or a document that people would sign. That's how I would do it. And if you want, you can also change the unit of measure so that you specifically say that those are hours and not days. That would work as well. Other question from Aditya Shah. Does Odoo have in the website builder a round shape element? That's a good question. I never tried it. Let's find out. I suppose that if we want to test that, I'm going to drag and drop. Here, do we have something where we would have a shape? I know it's rather background stuff that we have there, so I'm going to add an image and then after that a bit of text. Let's start text here. Yeah, it's internal stuff. I need first to have this one here. You have a few examples. I wonder if the shape that you mean is kind of the shape that we have here at the bottom. Is it what you're talking about? Because there you always have, where is it, background, we have not the image position. You have the shape here. And then you have the different shapes. I don't know if that's what you're talking about when you talk about the shapes, that we could have a round one.
If I can add
yes,
something, I managed
always.
to do that with AI website builder. So
Okay.
you ask for
Ah,
a
all right.
round shape circular element where you can add text. It does
Perfect.
it for you. Now
So
you can
let's
change
try
the
this one.
size of the round.
Okay. So what kind of prompt would you have? You say what? Please find find 5 sentences of well, it will manage how good Odoo is. But well, and we had a round shape at the end. That's why you had a round shape. That was indeed the shape I was
round
talking
shape
about.
elements with text, editable text in it.
Ah.
Every time I add easily editable text or element.
Okay. Easily. Let's try this one. 5 sentences. Let's fix this one. Okay. I think it's the first time I'm using it on the website. I've seen a few videos of. I don't remember. Ah. Okay. So that
no,
is.
I don't know if the element is resizable.
Ah. Okay.
Which is the limit of the solution.
Good. Yeah, that works. Okay, but it's true that then you cannot change it there. But I'm pretty sure that you could change the SVG behind.
The size of the text. Does it change the?
Because what is the here? That's background justify blah blah color box shadow. Do we have? Let's try this one. Wait. Why do stands out? Blah blah. Let's go back on this. If you want to change, okay, this one with the texts, I would have thought that we had.
Morgan has an idea.
Yes.
Prompt that the size of the element
should
should
be
be editable.
Okay.
Word.
Let's retry. No, cool. Do you think that it can edit? So make the size of that circle editable. Oh yes. Okay, so it's telling me. Okay, it works. I changed. So we have a notion of value. It is not there because here it's a column thing. We don't manage the.
If you resize the block.
Yes, it's going to resize with the block.
I don't know. It should.
But we need to maybe do this and do that. No. So is it lying to me?
It's a part. So.
Okay. So, but there you have. So what you could do here, you have it. I was looking more for something at this circle size. Let's try to have 300 pixels. Yes. Okay. Requires a bit of extra work, and you do that in the view, because of course, if I do it here, I'm just doing that on the page that is already loaded. If I refresh, that is not good. But you could go. And let's copy paste it's a bit of tinkering, but if we go here on the view, I'm looking for the view that contains the text I have, so I find my home page, and there what you could do is go here with the circle size and have either something like a fixed value. We know that we don't like that because otherwise when I'm opening this with a mobile version, it's not going to work. But then here it's bigger, but it's not responsive. If you need to make it responsive, you need to compute this as a variable and resize it according to some canvas size. Maybe there's a let's try that, because circle size, pretty sure that we are going to find some valid sources to tell us circle size here. CSS, is it CSS also? Let's try that. Yes, it's inside, so CSS responsive, and then you have our magic Stack Overflow that can help us for this one if you want to make it responsive correctly. Yes, okay. Do we have some explanation below? Yes, you have. Not sure. It's maybe not exactly what I need, but you would find, I'm pretty sure, yeah, find videos and things like those ones if you want to have it programmatically correct for different devices. Okay. Arne Albers, hello, does Odoo have or plan full MCP support? Yes, we have it starting 19.4. We have a module that is called AI MCP in that version. So if I go on, it's only in the enterprise version because everything that is AI is in the enterprise version. You have, not here, 19.4. That's the version that we have at the moment. AI MCP, yeah. So we have this one now. You can call it. I made a test on my side. Let me check if I can show this because I have something I'm not sure of. I was busy and stopped right in the middle of my test a few days ago, but I would need to use N8N. I need to start that. I don't remember how to do it here. Do we have? Yeah, I'm making a quick check here. Yeah, alright. So I have a workflow I tried, I think, yeah. I have a workflow I tried on my side, but I can show you here somewhere the AI agent. I'm using the MCP client of Odoo. So here it's on my machine, but my Odoo is not started, so it's not going to work. One moment. It's taking a bit of time, but so okay. Trying to find. I don't remember which database I should use for this. I'm not sure it's correct. This one. Yeah, I need to change also the version I'm running on Odoo. So it's going to take a bit of time because I think I went back, yes, on 18. So what you don't see, I'm always a bit scared about what I'm showing on the screen. So those kind of things, I'm on my code editor and terminal here on the other side just to load SAS 19.4 so that this would lead to something because at the moment I don't have Odoo running on my localhost. So that is, I'm updating the source of Odoo and community and then Odoo Enterprise in a sec. And once it is done, I would be able to show a tad more than what I'm showing right now. Odoo, am I correct here? Yes. A few more seconds. Let's retry this one. Yeah, seems to be working. But I'm pretty sure that it's a new database, so my API key won't work. Let's try this one. No, it's okay. It's installed, so that seems correct. Let's try and execute it. So you have to select HTTP here, header auth, and in the header put, I can show that I think here, you have to put it at authorization, then bearer space char your API key. Because you have that, if I'm sending a message, please find last 5 sale orders. It's sending it to my AI agent. We see we have some reflection there, but I don't know if it's the Mistral one that I'm using. It's going to, last time it was working and triggering my MCP, but after 1 or 2 triggers, it couldn't find I think that what Mistral was sending was incorrect in terms of format of data. I'm curious though that it's taking so much time. Last time it was giving a few tries and then okay. And then querying Odoo to receive the MCP method, then querying the MCP to get the sale orders, and after that it failed. But I thought it is related to the model that I have here. Wanted to test Claude, but didn't work in the end. I don't know if it's because of this. Usually it's not on JSON RPC. It should be on MCP. Wait a sec, because this one is correct. Maybe I tinkered a bit too much and I changed something, but long story short, /MCP is the address you should trigger for getting the MCP of Odoo, only in 19.4. So this would work if you have it locally and you install a 19.4, which is a bad idea in itself, unless if you want to make some tests, simply because we don't upgrade those databases, I mean the SaaS version that are local. I don't know if it's still thinking or if it's waiting for me to complete something here. No, it's still executing. Maybe I should have. There's something with my Mistral account. Invalid API key. All right. So I guess it's an issue of account. I can put that aside and see if I have something specific on the account. So yeah, my API key on Mistral is maybe not correct. I'm just connecting, but I think that would require a bit more time because I don't have the information on this user. I think I do usually that on another browser, so I don't have my access. But long story short, because it doesn't matter so much here the result of the test that I'm making. It's more like telling you that it exists. You could have something like this so that you can test a message that you send something to the AI agent. I'm using N8N, but it could be that you use Make or other ones like those ones. My issue was Mistral here because I don't have an API key. I have issues on paying cloud. It refuses my bank card, so that's another one. We need to find maybe again another solution or another model here that would be free. But the Odoo thing here is that you create a regular MCP client with the data that I gave you here and those kind of things. If you're interested, when you create, we can maybe have a look at that. In order to create that MCP type of API key, you go in My Preferences, Security, add API key, and you see here you have scope MCP, scope RPC. You can add it here. It will ask you for your password. Here I'm on localhost, so it's admin. You say for what it is, and then that is something that is different now in version 19.4. We have a first level of scope that is saying if it's MCP or RPC, and you say the amount of days that you want to keep it valid. So that's how I created my my key and how this is available. But of course, it would be better with a working API setup on the model side. That's maybe something I could work for next time, or that we can ask Armin or Amy. Pretty sure that they have something to show like this one. And I know that we have a talk about that during the Odoo experience. Because that's something that was requested already. So you can be sure that those kind of things, in 1-2 months, you are going to have lots of videos about that on the version 20 of Odoo. All right. Next question on of Muhammad Hamza. Which process do you follow for Odoo migration from V16 to V1? I guess there's a number missing. 19, I suppose. Also, one more guidance about how I can reduce my DB size. It's 115 GB dump and 100 GB file store. Okay. Different questions. First one, how do you follow an Odoo migration of Odoo from 16 to 17 or later? Documentation, Odoo upgrade. There's a first thing that is super important, which is the technical part of it on how to upgrade the module and what is the flow that you need to respect. And I think that we have here some explanation. Upgrading. Okay. I'm just checking if we have something. Upgrading database usage on-prem. Okay, that is how we send the database, so that I don't care so much. Testing a new version of the database. I was looking for the one that is related to the specific code, because I don't know if it's in that bit that we have there. Let me try to find the what module. Yes, that is maybe the sub part that interests you, because when I see the kind of message that you have, usually the upgrade, if you go on the SaaS, it's quite easy because we take care of the upgrade. You receive a test version, you test the different flows that you have and try to be as exhaustive as you can when you test them. If you see that the numbers match in the accounting, some of your testers in the company are not, I'm going to use the word bothered, but they can find the information that they want. It's generally an upgrade, so something that they prefer in terms of version. And the numbers are good, there are no traceback anything on the flows that you cover, then you can go safely for a new version. But usually before you get there, if you are on an on-premise environment or on Odoo SH, then you have an extra step, which is first taking care of upgrading the modules. If you don't do that, you can forget about testing your environment in version in the upgraded version, simply because it will fail so many times that it won't run, simply because the code is not updated. And that is also something that you need to do, and usually it is, you go, let's imagine we have a version 19 here, it's the test Odoo SH that we have. Let's imagine when version 20 comes out and we have the scripts, I go here and upgrade, but that is a production environment. I will need first to test it on the staging. In the staging, I can move this here. On the staging, I will have an upgrade button as well. I upgrade this one. Odoo sends the database, receives a result as expected by your scripts, and then it asks you, okay, we have the upgraded database, we can run the your environment. But in order to run, we need to have your code that is upgraded. And that is some job that you have on your side. Maybe you can be assisted with AI, but you are going to upgrade your code so that it works correctly on that staging environment. In order to make it work on the staging environment, with your updated database, a first step that we always advise is make sure that at least they are installable and that they work on a custom set of a smaller database with less data. And that usually you do it simply by going on a development environment and you change your modules until they are installable. Once they are installable, the second step is until they work as you would like them to work if it were a new version 20. If that works, it means they can be installed. It works according to your demands. You can reuse that base to test it on an upgraded staging environment, so upgraded database with your upgraded code. So that's how you would recommend doing that for the migration process, Mohammed. You can ask us also some help if you are lost or if you have specific traceback that you cannot solve, because that's something that we do on a daily basis. Second part of your question was more guidance about how I can reduce my DB size. And I'm astonished by the size of your DB dump, because usually, well, we have lots of client size, but clearly with a database size on your side without the file store, so just the database that is 115 gigabytes, I'm pretty sure you are in the top 10% of the database size for all of our clients. So maybe your client is quite big, or you store, I'm not going to say useless information, but information that needs to be flushed away. A few examples that we have, we've seen clients that sometimes they have API integrations, and when you receive an API call, a lot of people tend to store JSON information or XML information, and so you store huge files. Well, it's every time several kilobytes, but you have thousands of them every day, and so after 1 or 2 years, it adds up, and it's gigabytes of data of past payloads that you don't need anymore. So and that you don't need anymore also because you copied some of the information to create your records in Odoo. So that's one of the usual culprits that we find. It is stop storing that useless information. Then there are also other solutions for the most important database tables that you will find. If you are on Odoo SH or if you are running local, maybe you can make that quick test on Odoo SH right here in the shell. I don't think we have something directly there, but there's a PSQL query, let's say heaviest tables, something like this. Yeah, that we must have something like this. We can try this one and see PSQL. All right, is this working? Yeah, it's giving me the table size here, telling me which are the ones that are the heaviest ones. On an empty database, the place where we have the most information, it's funny, it's in the external identifiers, so ER model data, then the fields, then the modules. So that is typical of an empty database. That is, let's say, technical data. In a lot of databases, it will be the chatter places, so IR messages, where we have a lot of messages. So you can analyze this and see, okay, what is making most of your data, and see if there are a few places where you can archive, or even better, delete. Because archiving means it is still there, but lots of your filters won't go through it, so it will be faster to retrieve information. It doesn't reduce the size, but it reduces the effort to get the information, which is usually what you want. 1 gigabyte file store, then another solution for this one. It will already solve half of your space problem, since file store accounts for half of the data that you have in total. I would say one thing that you can do is use the module that we have, and I think they are in the community, because I don't know if you are community or enterprise version, but we have the cloud storage module. Is it here? Cloud storage, yeah. And there you can define once you add that module. I can go there also to add it. If I'm still having access to a demo environment, yes. If I'm saying, come on, cloud, you have those modules here, not AI cloud storage, but cloud storage Azure, Google. Migration is specific, I will explain just after. But on Azure and Google, you can connect and say to Odoo, okay, every item that I want to store, don't store it on on the server that hosts Odoo, but store it in the cloud on Google or on Azure, and you define the bucket on which you want to store it, and also API keys and a bit of the definition of where it needs to be stored, in which folder in your Azure cloud or bucket. I don't know the name that they give to that, so that you don't store it locally, simply. And we have a lot of people on Odoo SH that use that because they have a lot of files, and that we have a kind of a hard cap at 500 gigabytes on Odoo SH, and they are afraid because they store a lot of documents, and they say let's use something else so that you can stay on Odoo SH, and all the files, which usually account for a big percentage of the space taken by an Odoo environment, not the database, but the file store. So they put it on Google or Azure, and then it's a bit cheaper as well, and they earn a lot of space on their machines. It goes quite fast, and if you do that after several years of usage of Odoo, you can use the extra module cloud storage migration, because if you install just the cloud storage, it will start working for the next files that you upload. If you need to upload the past, migrate the past, you need that extra module on top to make this happen. It will convert your attachment. I can maybe show that. Here the attachments, yes. It will convert these attachments, saying, okay, as soon as they are more than an amount of kilobytes that you can define yourself, this file is too heavy, put it online. And if there are already files that exist on your machine, it is going to change a binary file into a URL. It sends the file, transform the same attachment, so that you don't lose the link between attachments and your records, but it is put online. That works quite well as well in terms of migration. All right, Mohamed, that was the answer for you. We have then Christian, Tekem, and Zil. Hello, how would you handle pharmacy with third-party payer? How to split the due amount so that the customer only pays its part and the rest goes to another business partner, the insurance to be invoiced. All of this in the post. Ooh, is it already covered by an Odoo industry? No, it's not covered by an Odoo industry. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty sure. I see the case, but I don't know how we could make this work. Specifically because it's in the POS. Otherwise, I'm going to reuse my most naive way of trying to solve it. That's the goal of the episode here, or the session that we have. If we ask us that, okay, how can we react, and what would be the solution that we have out of the box? First of all, I would first check, is it an invoice that you have when you talk about those kind of things when you have a pharmacy? I would suppose. So you have an invoice and you make part of person pay a percentage, So we can try that. And we have 2 people that pay the invoice. So it could be anything, like any product. So I don't care so much. All right, we have an invoice here. I'm sending this to the Belgian company. Well, it's myself, so it's not great. Let's create another company. Let's duplicate this one and use something else. Coca-Cola, oops. Super. Okay, yes, let's go for you. All right, so I'm confirming that. And in terms of payment, I could receive payment from different people. So usually that payment, you would have first someone that is going to pay you directly from, how do we call that? The payment terminal. And later in the day or in the week, you are going to receive a bank statement saying, yes, I was paid. Let's take, I'm going back to this one. So we have 605. Let's imagine that the customers pay us 100 and the state or the, let's say, we could call that mutuelle in French, but the insurance, as you said, is going to pay the rest. I know I'm not in the POS. I'm trying it in a simpler environment that is not in the POS, and we'll see after. In fact, in the POS, yeah, I'm going to cover it after. We have this here, and we can have later in the bank. So client payment. We add that new thing for 100. No, it's a statement. Oops. Can I change? I had to put the amount before. I don't like the. Yes, it's here. Payment to. Payment client. All right. Partner. I'm going to put my name. Let's go and say it was for me. We have this, and I could reconcile it. I suppose on. I have to remove the partner, and I have to select this one. Okay. So it is possible to have an invoice here for which it was for customer Coca-Cola, but it is paid partially with someone else. Because usually the customer for you, if it's an invoice and we're talking about, the customer would be the person that come to you because there's a sickness, your patient. I was struggling to find the word, and the rest would be managed by the insurance. So when you know that it has been paid partially, you could send all of that, all those documents, end of the day, or have a process that says, okay, those invoices are paid partially because the client paid his part. Let's send the rest to the insurer so that we receive the money from the insurer, and then from that money that you receive, you are going also at the end of the day or every week to go through all the payment that you receive from the insurer. Now, if you want to make this in the POS, to me, the flow, if you don't use the POS, could be this one because you have an invoice, 2 payments. Once the first payment is issued, you know how much is remaining. And if it's that type of thing that needs to be covered by an insurance, we could batch them and send it to the insurer so that they have all the PDF, they can go through it and give you a full payment for this one. And we could work even with batch payments if you want. Now, if we need to put that in the POS, I was thinking of a problem that could arise. That is the following. In the POS, you cannot proceed unless you have the ticket is paid in full. And there it means that you need to find a solution to expect a payment and to book it well and to prepay the invoice. So the invoice will be marked as paid in Odoo. But you will need to know that the amount still needs to be received. So that's why I don't like that so much. I'm going to illustrate that. So if I create a new, we don't care so much, and it can be a bakery, that's all right. I will need to select also the product that can be sold there, because at the moment I didn't specify that my product architect, yes, could be sold in the POS. Yes, here point of sale category would be bread and pastries. We don't care so much either. Let's go there. Let's reopen it. Okay, we have a product. I open the register. I'm putting this, and the problem is that if I go to payment, I cannot go further than this if I don't put an amount. You see here I have cash. I cannot go without validating something. And if I put here an amount that is smaller, like I'm saying here, let's put 50. You see, validate is great, and I cannot go further than this. So what you could do is have a mix of payment and capture that information later in the backend, so that you say, we have a card, that's how much the person paid, and then we will have another payment system that would be insurer, and maybe one per insurer, I don't know about that, so that you get this information after. But you see, if you have some other system like customer account, you need to specify the customer. That I guess you have anyway for things that are patients. But here you don't want to have it on the customer account because it will be paid by someone else. Let's do it so that we see the impact in Odoo. And I'm going to say it's for Antoine. We validate. So good. Now what we do have, I'm going to close my register, blah, 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 close register, and we are going to see the impact of that in Odoo. So in terms of order, I have this one. We have my customer is myself, but that is right. So we have a customer, and we see both payments here. This one would already have happened, and this one still needs to happen. And so we need to have it on a specific journal that we will need to reconcile with a payment that is expected from the insurer. So that could work as well. You will need to rename that customer account with insurance payment. But what I don't like with this approach, it's maybe nothing. It is the following. It is that when you go in the accounting, first I didn't ask for an invoice, so that's my first issue. I should have maybe asked for an invoice so that we would see the difference. And then the order is marked as paid. Technically, it is not. The percentage was paid, and the rest is on the customer account, which would be the insurance account that still needs to be paid, and that you don't have any follow-up. In order to have a follow-up for this, I think we need to go on the journal entries and find all the ones that are. Do we have the difference here? I'm checking if we find the difference. Yes. We will need to pay the rest. We will need to pay the remaining amount. And so you need to find, here we have the reconciled ones, so 50 euro. You need to find how we are going to have this one solved and send it to the insurance saying, okay, this is the amount that is still owed by the customer. And that's what it means. You see, we have one part that is on the sale order and the second part that is here. This one is paid. The last one is paid. This one still needs to be paid. You send that to the insurer, maybe per insurer, and then you receive the money. And but again, main issue is that it is considered already as paid. So you need to be super to pay extra attention to this. You see, you answered something more. You thought of paying a part with cash and the rest with a client account. But how to generate the split? Here you have the split. So the split is here. The split on my side, maybe on your side, is based on a percentage. If it is the case, then it's a bit of development because it's always you don't have some place here where you can say because you selected this, you go on the payment. I want a split like 1/3, 2/3, or something like this. You don't have a specific split. You need to compute it. If it's a split that depends on the type of help that you provided or the type of medicine that you sent, that is going to be something that you need to compute. No other choice if you need to compute it to amend how the POS works, and that means development in this interface. Now the rest with the notion of cash and customer account, to me it works. At least it's a first step that is manageable. If you take into account that you need to go after and filter correctly on these lines every day or every month or every week, depending on how often you need to send that to the insurer, and that would be the split. And the split here, if you want to say, you say how to generate it. Odoo does it for you. How to filter it? Then I would say you can use the account, and the account would work. I think it's simply a parameter that you will have on the payment methods. Here where you say customer account goes on a specific journal or a specific account, or is it because cash goes on a specific account? Yeah, you can decide to go on a specific other account because it's the one. I suppose that the one that we propose here is the one on the cash bakery. Not even. Wait. Yeah, but it is the one. It is the cash account. It is the customer account, so it's not the same. But you could get that information from the payment method. That's what I mean. That's how you are going to know what is booked where. Krishna Rebelieve asks us, how can we integrate an external website in Odoo? It depends. If it's an external website, it is not going to be integrated in Odoo because Odoo has its own website. If you say, I don't want to use the website of Odoo, but I want to use my own website, I would say, yeah, you can do that. You can have a website, Odoo, another software. But I guess that your question is, how can they communicate together? Then the question about communication for something that is external, I see 2 or 3 ways now that we talk a lot about AI. Either it's very, very small, and what you need to send is emails, and you send them to an email alias of Odoo. An example is you have, let's go on the website again. Let's imagine, I'm using Odoo's website for the sake of the demonstration, but we don't need that so much. Let's imagine that you have a form on your website, and the only integration, I'm putting quotes here, that you want between your website and Odoo is the following. You want that when you fill in the form, the information goes to Odoo. If it's a simple form like this one, we can say, you know what, the easiest way is, because I created a form, I want that form to, here we see, not create an opportunity, because that would mean it's on Odoo and you are not on Odoo, but you must have something, lots of form work that way, send an email, and you send an email to an address, and the address that is here, it's not a personal address, it would be an address that is email alias that you have on Odoo, so that you send it to info@name of your database.odoo.com or any alias domain that you own on your side that is connected to your Odoo. And because I'm sending this there, it is going to generate what? It is going to generate a lead. That is the easiest one. There's a form, it needs to create a record in Odoo. The form is hosted on another platform. For Odoo, it is good. Send me an email to an alias that I manage. That is the easiest one. Second one is API. You connect to Odoo and you create, you develop something so that from that other website, you send a structured message using the API documentation of Odoo. API documentation, Odoo. And then you go here, external API here, and it's going to tell you how you can create that, what routes you can call, the different types of requests that we have. Use JSON RPC, that's the standard at the moment, and it will be the one that we will keep. There's a few places where we explain how you can connect a few use cases, the language, some Python somewhere, so that so that is how you could do it. You make your job on the other website so that some actions create things in Odoo, and you decide what you want to do, because I don't know your use case especially. And either you develop this fully on your other service, other website, or you create extra modules on Odoo, because your website always sends the same kind of structured data, and it's easier to handle in Odoo. Otherwise, use MCP, as we were saying before, but that is at the moment only on a small set of our clients, which is clients using 19.4 or clients that are going to use version 20 of Odoo. If you ask this question, I suppose that you are already in the you already have an Odoo environment, so you maybe have to wait until you get to the 19.4 version, or you are in version 20, and then you can start using the MCP of Odoo, and then you prompt so that information gets sent from your place to Odoo as well. In what we discuss here, if your case is simple, keep my first answer, so using aliases. If it's a bit more complex, create a specific module on Odoo side or on your other website that triggers the API, that calls our API, and that would be sufficient. Jesse the Decker, I recognize that name. I think that you have been in our Odoo Insider several times. Thanks a lot for coming back. We sell configurable machines with predefined customization options, each with a set sale price that should be adjustable. Sales should be able to easily create a quote by selecting these options, while manufacturing receives the correct components and operations on the production order. Like it's ideally the selected options are visible and priced separately on sale order lines, but the underlying components should not be treated as deliverable products since they are consumed during manufacturing. What would be the best way to model this so that only the finished machine is delivered while quotation, pricing, BOM, components and production operation remain correctly linked? That's I have the feeling that 2-3 weeks ago we made a video about that, and maybe wait, do we still have this one? Yes, wait, because I remember that I did something for you, which was this one. Is this one? Wait, we made this, and there was a BOM link to this one. Yes, and we were showing here the definition of the product that we used. I think you asked me this question, and we did that as a let's add a few more information on the sale order, because as you said here in your question, we don't want to have the finished product and the components, otherwise they are counted twice, and for the stock it's unmanageable and things like that. But that was the part about showing it to the client. Like we have a customizable product, this is the finished product, and we use the BOM to find information that we need to display inside the PDF. Here you say how it's about the creation of the BOM, so that you select the options and then you go in the on the manufacturing side. This we don't have. You don't have something that you create on the sale order side so that it generates the BOM. So that's important. We don't have that. Usually it's the BOM first that needs to be done, and you link that BOM to a product, and that product is one that you are going to sell. And eventually, if you have the modifications that we have here, we show what is the BOM content, and that you could do. But if it's customizable, there are so many options. People say customizable, but in fact they are selling unique products, and it's easier to go in manufacturing. And in fact, what you create first is not the sale order; it's a bill of material, because that's why you are going to say, okay, I need this, and that component, and it's a matter of changing the flow that you have. It's go first on the bill of material, and then that bill being unique, that's on the product. That's the product that you are going to create. You create the definition of the product, and then you add it to the code because you want to sell it. Kit or not, that doesn't change anything. It would be the same thing. If you say selected options are visible and priced separately on sale order lines, then you can have a mix of what I'm saying here. You have a BOM that contains components, and if you want to price them and show them, or the possibility would be to have a mix of product and services, so that the component that you are going to use it as deliverable products that are physically in your stock, but you want to show them as products inside your sale order. Or the solution would be you have a mix of products that would be the finished product, and under other lines that are services that possess the same name, so that you are not going to count stock, but you have just the service, and you add this as a service. But it's a bit complicated. I would prefer to keep the idea of go on the BOM, because you are going to define your BOM, and because of the change that we made here on the I don't have it anymore, no, here, because of the change that we made here, you would see all the details, but you won't have the quantity, the price, and all. But the same way I added this in terms of just the name and the quantity, I could add the price, I could add taxes and amount. That would work as well. But I would say, if you ask the question, I would say don't go for a solution that is more complex than the one I illustrated, because otherwise you are going to invest a lot in development for managing use cases that were not yet presented to you, but that will come. And so every time you are going to go a bit further, and you don't realize that you put your finger in a cog, and you will get dragged away with a lot of development fixes that you have for this. So my answer would be really, but again it's based on a 4 sentences question. My answer would be, first, try to work with the BOM first, and extract the information in the BOM on the sale order, because then you have the information that you need. Since you don't want to deal with them as deliverable products, it means it cannot be another line, or if it's another line on the sale order, it needs to be a service. That is a copy of the product deliverable that you have on the BOM, and that will be consumed during the manufacturing order. Chris Oiko is asking, we have made 2 order products, customized printing per client. that we would normally manufacture ourselves, but we sometimes subcontract from abroad if the quantity and lead time is long enough. We also want to give manufacturing head an option to change bomb type use, since they can use different raw materials based on inventory availability. If we use MTO route, yes, it won't allow us to change the bomb type in the MO that is automatically generated. Can this be done without modifications? I don't know, but I have the feeling that yes. Because what you have in MTO is a generation of a manufacturing order, but I don't think that we already validate it. And if we do, that wouldn't be a big deal, I think, because your question is not so much related to how can I create the correct bomb. You seem to have solved that. It's more like, because it's MTO, the MO is automatically generated, which is what we want, but I suppose that what you mean is it's already validated, it's automatically generated and validated. I will need to check that. So we can reuse the same product here. That was our t-shirt. Yes, with our variants, we have a bit of material, that is okay. We have variants and blah blah. What I need to do is check if we have MTO as well. Cool, we had it, but it was not paid. All right, so let's go there and create another bit of material. This t-shirt one, and I'm going to call it, I don't have it, but TV2, and we say here we use more thread, and let's say heavier, more cotton. So I don't know why we would have two ways of doing that. It's just for the sake of the exercise. I'm pretty sure that you know what you are doing and you have a good example. Okay, so if I go on a quote, I'm selecting my favorite customer, that is myself. We have here the product is going to be my t-shirt. Okay, green M. Let's go. We have a price, yes, good. I confirm it's MTO. I should have a manufacturing order. Yes, we have it here. Yes, indeed, it's confirmed already. Do we have a solution of cancelling resulting to draft? Wait, first, bill of material. Yes, we cannot change the bill of material. Cancel. Yes, I don't like that. Different things we can do, but they all include development. Not important one though, because what matters is at the moment where I'm configuring, if you are able to know, programmatically speaking, which bomb should be selected because of the planning, because of the stock, because of the price, or things like that, there's maybe a way you can do that at the moment you generate this. Two ways. Either you mention it somewhere here, saying it is one bomb and it is this bomb, and we try to pass that information along, but again, through development, so that when you click on confirm, we give that information and we can be sure that the sale order that is generated, I cancel it, so I cannot even click it anymore. The manufacturing order that is generated is the correct one. I don't know if it selects the first one though. It's wait. In which module could it be? Do we have sale MRP? Sale MRP, yes. Would it be there? Because we confirm the sale, and because we confirm the sale, it generates, it selects because of the sale order line. We have something where we select the bomb, get bomb component quantity. I'm looking for where do we select the bomb, and we maybe don't have it here. We have bomb explode, compute quantity, bomb quantity. So we have several bombs. I'm not sure of what's the bomb that we are going to select to make the production order. Action confirm, blah blah blah. Okay, so that there we confirm it, so we call that after we validate the SO with the sale order line. Compute MRP production IDs, nope. So here apparently we have a place where we don't find relevant BOM, so we have to use BOM finds. Otherwise we would go on the order line and find the BOM ID on the move that was generated. We found the BOM of type kits. Okay, that is for type kits. Do we have another way in going? Okay, there's a place maybe where we can. That's maybe the one that we want. I'm going there. I'm not sure it's exactly what we need. BOM find. Find the first BOM of each product. Yes. Okay. Maybe you need to change this. So it's a maybe. It has to be tested. So that you find the correct BOM. Yes. Okay. Here at the moment it selects first domain, and the domain is what? Do we give the domain along? No, we don't give it. The domain weight is selected here, BOM find domain. So there's another place where we find the domain according to the product picking type, the company. So maybe you can change that to influence the filter that you have later and find the correct BOM. But there is something here you can imagine that is linked to changing the code. Just checking here if there's an easy way. So we need to have the correct product, of course, or yes, product templates, and it needs to be active. That is a funny one, because when you think about that, you could do something. I'm not saying that it's a good one, but if you have 3 BOMs, at the moment you confirm, before doing all of that research, you could inactivate the BOMs that you don't want, so that remains the BOM that you want, and because of that domain, it will select the correct one. So sometimes that could be something, I'm not saying smart, but a quick trick that you could use if you want to simplify your development. I'm not sure it is the best, but that's something I would like to give a try if we had the time. But so you have different, the type that would be for the kits or things like that, picking type ID, okay, blah, blah. I don't see directly here another way to do than explain by coding the BOM that you would have to select, unless inactivating the other ones. Because if I add, we can do that. If I add inactivated, the one I want, so I'm duplicating my cell order here. I'm on purpose going to inactivate on my BOM bill of materials here. Inactivating the first one. I guess we can archive, yes. Maybe there's some PLM stuff that we can use. I'm not sure about that. You confirm, and then it's TV2, another one, because TV1 was the one selected before, right? And I archived it, so let me check. Cancelled. It was, no, it was the cancelled one was for TV2 as well, so it's not a good test. I will need to do the opposite now, just to be sure that my technique is working, even though, as you have seen, it is a lot of clicks as well. So let's reactivate this one, an archive, and if my test is working, I should see now. Yeah, also there's a sequence, and so I could, instead of archiving, I could have just resequenced it. Let me check, because maybe in the BOM find we had that information. BOM, do we have a sequence that matters? There's maybe a sequence. I'm going to archive, and then we can test with the sequence. So I'm going to archive TV2. The fact that it's first one in the list makes me think that the sequence would have an impact. Okay, so we made it here. Let's go back to the cell order number 3. I'm duplicating, and we check. It should be TV1 then, because it's the one that is not archived at the moment. And then TV1. Okay, archiving works. Let's check if let's unarchive everything, and then let's check if by just changing the order, putting TV2 below TV1 would work. Duplicate, not the MO, I don't want, it's not what I wanted. Let's duplicate the SO, and here both are existing. I put TV1 first, so it should be TV1 that is selected. Yes, so sequence matters. So you could also do something that puts the one you want at the top so that it is one that is selected. Manually works, of course, and or some kind of function that would put it first and the other second. At the moment you validate your sell order could be working as well. So some tricks like those ones, more complicated, taking full automation, like it solves the planning issues, it knows what is the best instead of you doing it. It's a bit more complex because I think that we don't realize the complexity of our reflection that we try to put inside the computer sometimes. So try to find a solution that is archiving, changing a sequence just before you validate the sell order. I would investigate in that way, or because it's really something I don't like, or find a way to put this back to draft. Can we? I'm astonished because I don't know why we don't have something like this, but there's usually a good reason. So in the view, let's try to show invisible element, quality cancel and build, start and plan. Yes, okay. Because that would be the other thing, trying to find a way to put it back to draft. If we don't have it, I guess there's a good reason. It's cancelling is re-cancelled. So that is it. Thinking if we can have something different in pure MO. I don't have the feeling that it can be done. Chris, that is what I would where I would stop in terms of answer. All right, another question from Blessing Tsara. Good morning, team. We recently subscribed Odoo for a restaurant, but we are facing printing challenges as the system is requesting for a bridging driver, which is an additional cost to the existing package. Is there another alternative to that? I don't know. It depends of the printer that you have. What we advise is always, we have a list of printers that we manage, Odoo POS software, I think. We have somewhere the list of devices that we support. Where is it located? If it's not here, it must be in another place. In the way store management production. No, it's not the right place. Documentation, hardware somewhere, hardware and network, and there you would get some extra information. Receipt printers. And you have some places. I'm going to maybe stop my speaker. Or the one that you can have with IoT. Is it about configuration? Hello, Isabelle. Certificate, yes. So some explanation for the certificate, but I suppose that on your side, what matters is that you cannot add them. But I have the feeling that we can manage more and more printers. There was something with all the ones. Wait, yes. This.
I've added it, like the list of the IoT hardware.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
There is a web page.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Let me use this one. Odoo.com.
It's the one that we were using before.
Let's check if it's still up to date. IoT hardware. Yes. Okay. So you have this one. Printers. You have here the label printers that we use. But we also say support ZPL protocol. So the other ones for ZPL, all the ZPL one would work for the labels, but it's not the label you talk about. You don't explain if it's the label printer or if it's the ticket, but it doesn't change much. Use the one that we propose. If not, you have extra information here with ePOS communication, and we tell you every time if we need IoT or not. If it's for extra development, then I would say the following: what is cheaper? If you have only, I'm saying only, it's already good, but if you have one restaurant with only one printer, change the printer. It will be cheaper than extra drivers and the hassle that it is to do it, test it. A printer, like, I don't know the cost of this one, but let's try. Or maybe we have it. Wait. Maybe we have directly the link here for this one. What is the cost? I don't know the cost of this one. But chances would be quite high. Yeah, they don't sell it directly. They sell it through resellers, so it's not going to work this way. Let's put this here. I'm pretty sure Amazon will sell me, 250. So that means less than 3 hours of work is already better. But that's it. Sorry, it's again the label printer, not the ticket printer. But anyway, it will be around that cost. So don't go for development. I'm not saying you will regret it, but if it's really for 1 or 2 printers, buy new printers. It will be cheaper, or test a few ones that have the protocols that we recommend, or check the videos that we have here. We try to give as much as we can in terms of help for people using other printers. Okay, another question from Raichi. Oh, the name is complicated. Raichanyogatama. All right, solved it. Could you clarify why the sales module allows for the selection of products with various UMs and variants, whereas the post module is limited to selecting only variants? That's a good question. When you ask this the following way, it's telling me, please justify the choice of your R&D. And I don't know. But usually they do it in a smart way. I suppose that usually when you have those kind of cases, you have both products. Giving the example of a can of Coke, of Coca-Cola, you have the can or you have the pack, but those are 2 different products in your system. It's not like I'm selling 6 products, but I'm selling a different product that is a pack. And usually a good proof of that is that if you go to the local store, you would see that you scan something and then the EAN code is not the same. So that's how you would solve it. It is more like use different UMs maybe, but otherwise use different barcodes, and those barcodes are different variants. And that would be usually sufficient to solve most of the cases. Do we have cases where you need to have the unit of measure in the POS? I'm curious about the use case because I have the feeling that everything that needs to manage by unit of measure in the point of sales should be managed through the quantities. I'm buying some cables, then it means that if there's a price per meter, it means that the quantity should be the meters. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I don't have any other explanation than this one, because it's true that you wouldn't have to select unit of measures inside the POS. I'm half confirming it because it's true that here we don't have this. Can we say, one day there's no other unit of measure that we can select? Nope. So I don't have the justification, to be clear, but I can understand that it should be anyway create different products for the use case that you have. But I don't know if it would be wise to allow it, because every time we have to also reflect on the fact that on a POS things needs to go fast. You need to click, you need to scan, and usually that scan or that click should be the bearer of the information that you need. You don't want to click here and then to say, it's not days, it is in hours, and then how many hours. It should be contained in what you scan. It's a bit the same when you have a weighing machine. You put some food on it, it does it for you. It is configured by weight. You take the label, the label contains the cost, and it's computed automatically. So that's why I mean those kind of things should be contained on the product information, rather than having to configure it and click and enter numbers. That would be better to have different products. Explorer E3E, I need to split inward quantities into separate packages based on a fixed quantity per box. This must be fully automatic with no workaround or manual adjustment. How can I do it? If fully automatic and that you don't want workarounds, I guess that would be potentially some development. We can try your case. Let's create a product. So it would be separate packages. I don't know if I have packages things here. That is nice. What kind of error do I have? Let's refresh and see if I'm still blocked. If I am, it's not going to be fun. No, it's good. It was just refreshing my screen simply because this one was outdated compared to the new modules I installed. So package, do we have? Oh yeah, it was just there. packages. All right. Let's try this and see if we have something else. No, should be okay. I'm going to create that Explorer product. So we have quantity, good, yeah, say 1, 2, and sales. I thought that we would have the packaging here. Maybe I'm wrong. Option product. Is it something that I missed? Packaging barcodes. Let me check. Packages, different package types. Yes. Okay. Units. I'm going to create another one. Package. Yes, those are the packages, not the units. But I don't have the units. Okay. Inventory. That is also something that is missing. Unit. Do I have my unit of measures? No, that is what was missing. Okay, products again. Explorer product sales packaging is good. I'm going to say, well, you said 100. I'm going to go for a pack of 6. Okay, but you have box and yes, 10 boxes of 100. Okay, I could do the effort of creating a box of 100. I'm so nice. Quantity 100 units. Okay, package type, we can say box of 100. Okay, company carrier, blah blah, dimensions. Well, the rest is, yeah, we can add some storage capacity. Well, it's not so important. 4 gigabytes. So we are going to receive that, and you would like to have it automatically in boxes of 100. But in that case, what bothers me, I think I'm not an expert in stock, is that we have a box. No, it's not a box. We have your Explorer product. And here, either you say we are going to have unit or box. If I'm saying units, I'm having 1000. You receive 1000 units. You receive units. You don't receive boxes, I guess. So no, you cannot change that. Can we go there and amend it? No, it's the description, details. Yeah, so you would need to do that. That's what you want to do, right? And you would like this to be done automatically. But if you scan, Odoo would know it because there is a barcode on the box. So I don't know if you've paid attention, but on the box I had some information for the barcode. So it's packaging or packages. No, I need to update this one. Package types, box. We had a barcode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah blah. So this one, you could already scan boxes when you receive them. So if it's about scanning, and it would be integrated, Odoo would know that you scan boxes and that you scan boxes of 100. So that is already something that you can do. But based on what you say, fully automatic, no workaround or manual adjustment. What I said is not fully automated because you need to scan. But it's not a workaround or it's not a manual adjustment. You scan. But if you say it's not sufficient, how does Odoo know that you are going to receive boxes of 100, 10 boxes of 100, instead of units? And if you tell me, I know it because when I'm ordering, I already know it, I would say, but then let's do something different. Let's duplicate this one and don't order units, order directly box of 100 so that you know that you receive that. In terms of quantity, you receive 10 boxes of 100, meaning 1000 units. So there's a difference in what you are going to encode and what you are going to buy to your supplier. First case, you don't know the split. You say, I need 1000 units, deliver it. Second case is, I need 1000 units, but I would like them to be managed in boxes of 100. And if you already know that at the moment of the purchase, do this. It will save you some time. If you don't, this solution is sufficient. You go on the reception. Either you use a barcode and you scan boxes, or you do this. Let's try to validate. Yeah, so here it's written boxes for 100 and that works. If you say, I would like to have this one automatically filled, because of the information that we have here, we could find some way of finding the first package on that product that match the rounding, like the multiplication. So if I order 1,000 units, how many boxes do I need of that type and that type and that type? And you can find something to automate so that in the reception order here, we find the correct information for the quantity and units. But I don't see why you wouldn't have it already in a purchase order. We have maybe the time for a last question from Shreyanka Varun. Odoo 19 invoice before stock reception question. If we invoice and receive payment from a customer before the product are received into stock and the actual product cost changes once the stock is received, how does Odoo 19 handles the COGS and reporting impact? Should we issue a credit note and re-invoice, or will Odoo automatically adjust the COGS inventory valuation? I don't know, and we don't use I don't, at least personally, the what do we call that? The Anglo-Saxon accounting for everything that is stock related. So I would be afraid to give you some misleading information. For this one, I would say, if you are not in a hurry, we have Richard, that is a host of this session, Odoo Insider, from time to time, and he has been an accountant in his life, and he's been living in the US and takes care of a lot of our clients in the UK. So those kind of things, I know he would be able to give you an answer straight away. I suppose that those kind of things are handled in Odoo, but I'm not sure. And if it were, I'm not sure I would be able to guide you correctly through the different setup. Plus, I will need to recreate another environment. Maybe not have the time. So keep this one for next time that we have Richard online. And I'm going to answer Camelia 9525 with Odoo Online bank synchronization. Is it possible to use the bank statement number at the accounting entry? Not without development or small development. So the thing is, in a bank statement number, you can have several lines. In fact, it's impossible because of that. If in a bank statement number, in a bank statement, you have several lines, and that entries must have a unique number, and that an entry is not linked to a statement but to a statement line, it's already impossible. It has an incompatibility. But what you could do is use it as a prefix, so that in a bank statement that is, let's say, bank statement 1, you have 3 lines. It could be bank statement bank statement 1.1 as a name of the journal entry. But it needs to be coded. We don't have that by default in Odoo. We can maybe illustrate that in the accounting. In the bank, if you create transactions, the one that we created, here these transactions in the statement, there's a statement name. Do we have, there's the invoice it solves, but if I want to see the name of my the journal entry, there I have it. You see, it's always BNK something here, and that's number 2. But potentially, that's what I meant. Those 2 may be coming from the same bank statement, but they need to have a different journal entry number. So your question wouldn't be working. But what you can do is ask Odoo to take the next number that will be available for the journal, for this journal, and that this name would be based on the statement number or name that we have here as a reference, but that means development. You need to explain to Odoo how to do it, because overwrite the way we do it. I don't think it is, I would say, useful. I would rather keep that information as reference and put it as extra information here, or use statement info here, because in fact you have it. But we didn't create a statement, but that's what it would be like. Because usually when you ask this, it means please make it so that there's a link between the statement and the journal entry. And doing this, you have it. And I had to add it manually because I'm not connected to the bank. I created it manually, but otherwise, if you upload a bank statement, that would be how it works. And you have the information. The only thing is that the journal entry here doesn't have the proper name, but having a name or changing this name after you created it with, it's here. We don't see it as a bank extra information. Do we have it somewhere? Okay. So that we change this number based on the bank, how do we call that? The bank statement number followed by some random number or something, because as I told you, it needs to be unique. There's a possibility. I think we can even do it here, just to show you. We have a bit of time, and I think I won't be able to take another question, but rename, what do we call that? Rename account move. And we could do something like this. It's a bit weird, huh? It's not even here that I need to do it. It's more like on a server action. Server action. Rename account move. If we could do something like this, just to show you what are the different steps. That I don't like the idea, I must say, because it's dangerous to change the way it works, and I don't think it brings benefits. So again, it happens from time to time. I'm showing something that I would not advise you to do. Do you have a disclaimer like "Don't try this at home"?
We should.
That is it. Don't try this at your company, or if you do, don't say that I told you so. So we have the journal entry, and we can write on it record.write. And what do we write? But first, we cannot write on the name when it's already issued. But we are going to use a quick trick for that one. It's the statement, so it's statement ID, and we are going to take the name. So we do it only if there's a statement. If record.statement ID. Oops, let's do that. Record.statement ID.name, and I'm going to add plus ID, or we can keep it that way. I'm going to do it only for one. All right, I create contextual action so that we have it here. You're going to tell me we cannot because it's already posted, I guess. But wait. I'm on the account move line, in fact, here. Correct? Wait. No, bank statement line. I'm incorrect. It's the journal entry we want to change here. All right. Let me check if my data model is correct here. So we have journal entries. We have the journal entry that I created from my bank. Where is it located? This one, I suppose. We have the bank statement here. So do we have directly in the fields statement? Yes, statement ID. So that is correct anyway, but it's just that it is done here instead of on the other side. Rename IM. Ta-da! So that don't do because I was able to do that while it was posted, so I wasn't expecting this to work. So bank statement number as the accounting entry. So that is what. Here I answered your question. I could do it, but it's a very bad idea because here, if I try to do it for the next one, yes, it cannot because the same name already exists. So that's what I was telling you. It needs to be done better, and that's not something that you would do messing with the accounting in Odoo. So I would doubt it has a benefit that is higher than already here. Pay attention to this because maybe that is already the answer you need. You have so we said it was the bank statement. Do we have the link here? Yeah, but okay. The thing is that we have potentially several bank statements. No, there should be only one. That was bank statement ID. Why so? Wait. That's maybe some extra information I can give. We know already for sure that there's a bank statement ID because we have the bank statement here. And we could see here that there's in the fields or in the data bank statement. Yes, one. So we have it. So there's that statement ID, but maybe the field is computed. I would find it strange, but because otherwise I was going to say we can maybe filter on that, or group. We don't have the statement here, but maybe it's statement and not bank statement. Statement line statement. That's it. maybe that's what you need. You need to group them by event statement or show the information in a column, and that is different. But at least you don't mess with the number. Bad idea. All right. Good. We reached the end of the session of today. Thanks a lot for your participation. As always, we had a lot of questions. I'm very glad that you are asking us a few things like those one. Only thing for which I don't like is that we had the question that I cannot answer about the accounting, or I'm not sure guiding you correctly on this one. So let's wait a bit for this one. But anyway, thanks a lot, and enjoy your day, and see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.